And we're going to put a marker right here for our awesome archive team, let them know we're getting into the game. We're going to tab over to this screen, and we're going to get started. We are down a Breaking Dawn tonight, and we are down an Irithyr for at least part of the show. We're not sure exactly if and when they'll be back. Well, we know Breaking Dawn won't be. But it's okay, because we are going to do some Kilio stuff for quite a bit. Potentially the entire show. I don't know if this is going to be an extra or not at the time of recording. We'll see what shakes out, but it might be. So with that in mind, when we last left our heroes, Kilio rejoined the group and was able to let them know that some nonsense was happening in the Darkforge city above them. Shortly after breaking Dawn out of Subject 24's prison. Kilio seems none the worse for wear, despite having to long rest prior to rejoining the group, and then the fire giants that had appeared in the Darkforge city, as well as a very, very large fire giant, seemingly to be Suthor or the avatar of Suthor. It's not entirely clear which, if either, said that they were looking for the warden of the area because they, quote, still needed a sacrifice, end quote. However, we're going to roll the clock back a little bit, because there's some stuff that I want to show you, Kilio, and there's some stuff that I want to do with you that we didn't have a chance to do last week. So this might turn into an extra, it might turn into a full episode. As of right now, I don't know, but everybody has agreed we're just going to do Kilio shit until we run out of Kilio shit to do, and then we're going to move forward. So...
And you'll know before you even start watching it, because it'll say extra or just a regular episode of the title.
Correct. So, Kilio.
Yes.
You have arrived at the Darkforge City. You've been sneaking through the Darkforge City, which, as we described before, was a city above, like, the Minecraft Nether lava ocean. And it was mostly in ruins. It had been under lava for some time, but the first pump cleared it. Now that the second pump, and for that matter the third pump, have been activated, the Darkforge City is dark. The lake of lava is now spidering catacombs that wind downward. Some of them are drops, some of them are walkable, but there are much fewer lights around the city. But there are much more lights in the city, as what you didn't really notice before, but the sentries, the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, like, golems moving around the city are luminescent. They glow. They cast light around them, and they themselves cast light as well. On top of that, there are several large humanoids moving throughout the city with, like, not only torches, but, like, lights embedded in their armor to be able to see more clearly. Plus, I think you have dark vision anyway.
Yes, I have, like, 60 feet of dark vision.
Yeah. But we're not here to see how Kilio sneaks past these new threats, because we've already established that you have. That's not why I want to do this. I want to bring the scene to when Kilio is long resting, because I want to establish how you long rest. It is understood that you succeed in doing so because a long rest passes, but, like, with all of this stuff moving about the city, but deeper shadows to hide in, where does Kilio find to rest?
I've been I haven't really thought about it a whole time, but now that you mention it, my mind goes...
Also, I'm going to be eating for the first part of this episode, sorry.
Take your time, you're fine. I'm debating on a few things. The first one is, like, these are buildings. Like, these are, like, buildings as we would know them.
Yeah, it's a city. In fact, it's practically a contiguous city. It's like, you know that, that paper, that downward paper carving through a stack of Post-it notes that turns into an Asian pagoda. You ever seen that GIF?
Yes.
Imagine if the city was 3D printed in the same way. So it was basically carved out of the cavern instead of built unto itself.
Interesting. I'm trying to think of, like, what Killia would find familiarity in this. Could I get some help with some ideas?
Sure. I'm not sure that Killia would find anything familiar. That being said, Killia knows what a house is.
Yeah, okay.
It wouldn't be difficult to find, like, a flat, right? Like a worker's flat somewhere in the Darkforge City. It would be an apartment, not a house, but all the stuff that Killia understands would be there. There would be a bed, there would be a communal, like communal gathering area, there would be a cooking area.
I think...
I don't think Kilia's ever seen an oven in her life, but...
No, of course not.
Oh, no, she would have to, because they bake.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So ignore what I just said about that.
I think, like, Kilio's moving throughout the city, using the piercing blade to literally move through walls, so to speak, to avoid detection. And I think at some point she's noticing herself getting tired.
Yep.
But she has to keep moving because it's not safe, and then she finds this place, and...
Yeah, so if you don't have anything in mind, I think it's been burned out, right? Like, it's been burned out. Most of the appliances and stuff are either made of stone / obsidian or destroyed. But she can piece together from the remains, like... It's like a 2-room apartment with a combination sitting room and kitchenette in one room and a bedroom in the other. And it looks like... Okay, here's a really good example. Valerian, did you watch cartoons in the 90s?
I was not alive in the 90s.
You were not alive in the 90s at all?
No.
Okay, my bad. Have you seen a thing called anime?
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen... Really, there's no other way I can say this. The stereotypical anime apartment.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
it's got the semi-walled off kitchenette, the oblong living room, and then the bedroom adjacent.
Yes.
My mind immediately went to the literal second half of the first Digimon when they go back home and you see Ty's apartment.
Yeah. Like, another thing that reminds me of a little bit is, like, the houses, like the player character's house in Pokemon a bit.
Yes. That's a good example, except it doesn't have an upstairs and a downstairs. I mean, it does, but it's not connected to them.
Yeah. But yeah, like, there's a room adjacent.
Yeah, and then they've got the big
dining.
window in the sitting room, but obviously the glass is destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I think we see Kilio sending in the burned out husk of that, basically. But it's quiet, which, it's quiet and it's got sturdy walls, which is, like, something.
Yeah, it's a lot more than I've had in a little bit.
Yeah, and I think, like, maybe Kilio, like, starts to just sit down to catch her breath, knowing that she's going to get back to the others, but then she feels herself starting to get more and more, like, heavy, right? But
yeah.
This is the first time in potentially ever that Kilio has been by herself for sleep time.
I will go ahead and say yes, because even when she's out on her own, so to speak, she's had wolves.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, there's the distant, very distant, like, hum of the pump stations and the thud of the big humanoids moving around and the clank and vague piano music of the Guardians. But there's also, like, the sound of, you know, your blood rushing through your ears. There's the sound of, like, your breath entering your lungs. And this is made all the worse by your blood hunter levels. Like...
Yeah. Like, I'm much more aware of myself than I've ever been.
And it's like, maybe you hear your heartbeat slowing down, and, like, there's that moment of frustration. But at the same time, you can't, like, drift off to sleep because your body is so noisy, right? Make sure you mark off a ration, by the way.
I will.
And I think, like, maybe Kilio is restless for a while. We see her, like pile up her furs in a corner and try to flop on them, and she tosses and turns. She gets up and she, like, you know, checks over her bow and, like, counts her arrows, and then we see her, like, do it again, right?
At some point, she's, like, unhappy with the string, so maybe she, like, spends some time restringing it.
Yeah, right, exactly. And, it's important things, but it's also, like, stuff that, you know, she'd rather be asleep, right? She needs to get sleep where she can, and it's not working because her new senses are keeping her awake, right?
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been that long since you got the Blood Hunter stuff.
No, it has not.
It's
not at all. Like, a few days.
4 days? Yeah, something like that.
And it's like, the thing is, it's entirely different from when we're out in the snow with the group, because the snow deafens a lot of the noise.
Yes. But also there's no, like, bubbling lava here to distract you, right? Like, it's... And I think, like, you know, restrings the bow, checks the arrows, flops back down in the furs, tosses and turns, gets up again. And then, like, I think at one point, we see her, like, flop down in the furs, and the screen goes black. And when she wakes up, mind you, the room is dark, right? Complete. There's no lava, there's no light. Like, you are in darkness, right?
Mm-hmm.
When she wakes up, there is a Goliath, like, sitting across from her in another corner. But she is not only completely visible, she has color. You can see that she
happen in dark vision.
Exactly. You can see that she has, you know, lighter gray skin than most Goliaths. She has what's the color of Clan Rush? Blue? Yeah. She has blue markings on her face and arms. She's wearing, you know, like, dark brown hides, right? And her hair is blonde.
I think she doesn't move.
She's hold on.
Go ahead.
And she's in that very specific, like, this is something that Kilio is intimately familiar with. She's in that very specific I'm on watch posture. So she has one leg pulled up against her chest, the other leg extended with her knee across her other ankle, and then she has her bow against her chest with her right arm, and her left arm is resting on her left knee. If you're having trouble picturing that, imagine a samurai going to sleep with his sword. That pose.
I know what you're talking about.
And she's just sitting there on watch.
Probably looking out one of the windows? No.
She's just looking out into the room.
I don't think Kilio moves for about 2 or 3 seconds and then slowly stirs a bit and sits up.
You should sleep.
It's difficult.
Of course it's difficult, but you should sleep.
I've been trying for hours.
And you nearly succeeded. Do you give up the hunt so quickly? And she gives you a look like she knows better.
No. No, I do not. I think, like, deep breath. Not entirely sure what to do here, but I think Kilio's gonna try to go back to sleep.
Okay, so you lay down and close your eyes, but your perspective doesn't change. You're still able to see the room from a sitting position and the Goliath in the other corner.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
I'll look down at myself, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is.
I
Close your
think
mouth
that's
or
what,
catch flies.
and I think like at those words, the moment of surprise disperses, and another glance back down at myself, and I think I'm gonna stand up and walk over.
Okay. She doesn't react when you walk over. She, like, glances at the door, if anything. You come over. She says, "What do you believe, Kilio Wolfwalker? What do you know to be true?"
Trying to think of how Kaylee would answer this. The simple answer I could think of would be hack. That we should walk with the pack.
So you go to say something else, and like, her nostrils flare, and just like the top part of her lip moves upward slightly, and she says, "Not what you were taught. What do you believe to be true? What is?"
I'm not sure how to answer this. Uh,
So if you don't say anything, she'll elaborate. She
okay.
says, "Do you believe that Torvald is Primarch again? Do you believe that Eric comes down from the stars whenever he's bored? Do you believe in death? Do you believe in choices?
Hmm. In a way, I do and don't believe all of those things. It's weird.
Speak up just a little."
In a way, I do and don't at the same time. It's strange.
Do you believe in evil?
I do. No, wait. Trying to think about that question. I'm not sure.
Do you believe in wrong?
Yes.
When do we die, Killia Wolfwalker?
She said, when do we die?
When do we die?
I've been taught that it's when we are forgotten, but I imagine you're going to say something different.
She takes a breath. She still is not looking at you. She takes a slow breath, relaxes. She was getting tense. And she says, "Is it wrong to die for your kin?"
I think Killia like does like a slight inhale, like she wasn't expecting that question.
Mm.
I don't know.
Is it right to die for your kin?
Yes and no.
She nods very slightly. Is it wrong to kill for your kin?
And it's very much yes and no.
What about the choice of one versus all?
One versus all.
Is it right to be branded a kinslayer if your actions benefit everyone? For example, if the one that you kill is a thief, or violent.
I would say that, yeah, it's not right for that brand to be placed upon you if the consequence doesn't match the crime.
And what if they're a scared little girl that didn't have a choice in the matter?
Oh. um. Ah. Ugh. That. Things are not so cut and dry, it would seem.
Do you hate me, Killia Wolfwalker?
No.
Do you know me?
I believe I know you by name, but do I truly know you? I don't think so, Zara.
She closes her eyes for a minute. What if there is no Killia Wolfwalker and there's only Jara? What then? Am I a kinslayer?
Kilio pauses.
Or do the reasons matter? When it's personal, do the reasons matter?
Ooh. I feel like for the first time, like during this conversation, breaks the gaze, glances back at her sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Thinks for a moment. If there was no Kilio, and there was only Xtra, I don't think you are. I don't think you are a Kinslayer.
What if, when death claims you, there is only Xtra, and nothing you can do will change that? Then am I a Kinslayer?
Just have to make sure I'm remembered, right?
But how can anyone know if it was you or me?
Hmm.
Do you think Balgruuf will be remembered? They call him Torvald to his face. Do you think he feels the weight of being forgotten, even now? Do you think he can bear it? Do you think he is Torvald? And if he's not, do you think about what he endures?
I haven't really thought about that so much.
Yes, you have. Because you think about what it means to be Xtra. If you're Xtra. If you're Kilio.
Right, I have, but I haven't thought about if what I do, the credit is given to purely Xtra. Now
What did Brenna tell you in the mines?
Oh god, I don't remember.
Yes, you do. You changed your name to it.
No, Kit, my memory is bad. Please help.
When Brenna threw Kilio up in the air in front of the Orc army, she said, "Bring them the stars, Xtra."
Oh. I think that gives Kilio pause. I think she told Xtra to bring them the stars.
Is this what you want? Do you have a choice? Do I have a choice? I'm not on vacation, Killia Wolfwalker.
No, we have a job to do.
But in doing that job, I doomed a scared little girl that was lost in the snow. Is that evil?
If you didn't, I'd be dead in the snow.
But now you have a life, and deeds, and a song. But is it yours? Or is it mine? And regardless of the answer, what are you going to do about it?
I don't know if it's mine or yours.
Is
or
there a
if it's...
difference?
I don't know. But my time here, I can strive to make sure I am not forgotten, if it matters.
Let's say it matters.
It's up to me to not make sure I'm not lost in your shadow.
But let's also say that no one has succeeded.
It's a monumental task.
So I ask you again. What is Killia Wolfwalker?
Ilya Walker is a lot of things. A hunter, the fastest messenger of Roche.
Little sister?
A little sister.
Primarch Featherkeeper did not give the knife to Jara.
No, she did not. I think that brings like a very slight smile to her face.
If you believe that to be true, then there is a difference.
He gives another nod.
The question is, can Killia Wolfwalker do what Jara Golden Dawn needs to do?
Think I can.
Alone?
I'm never alone. I have my pack. Well, except for this moment, but
She smirks. You still have your pack, Killia. I'm watching the door while you sleep. Perks of being dead, you don't need to sleep. Not entirely certain I can wake you. I was wondering how that was going to work, and then here we are. It's easy to be Jara. To let me take over. Very easy. To be caught up in all the things that being Jara gives you. Let's face it, the ambition of our kin is limitless.
You're right.
But when the time comes to pay the debt, to end the song, to douse the flame, they realize that all of their works were done in Jara's name. And they have nothing.
I don't want to be forgotten like that.
Do you have a place in Valorhold if you are not Jara, halfling?
I'm not a halfling, I'm a Goliath.
That is the first true thing you've said in this conversation. Why do you doubt yourself? Doubt your purpose? Is it because you lack the strength? Because Killia Wolfwalker will never have the strength of her peers.
Right.
And if it is not that, then why?
There's... You can call me a fool for saying this, but...
You're doing it again. Who are you?
Killia Wolfwalker.
What
of
does that
Clan
mean?
Roche. I'm not sure how to answer this.
Does it mean you are Jara?
Oh,
Does it mean you are a halfling?
no.
Does it mean you
It
are
mean-
everyone's little sister?
No, it means I'm Killia Wolfwalker of Clan Roche.
Which is what?
I don't know where she's leading me with this. Fuck.
If you are not sure of who you are, then you will always be Jara. If you are not sure of your deeds, then they will always be attributed to Jara. If you are not sure of your strength, it will be given to Jara.
GM, can I get a little help here? I'm not sure how to progress this conversation. I'm stumbling.
Yes, you are. She is, like... So, bluntly, you are in Pierce's mindset, and you need to be in Killia's mindset.
Yes. I'm Trying.
If you don't want to be Jara, then you need to stand on your own. That doesn't mean without help, but it means you need to do Kelio things.
Yes.
If you are a Goliath, effectively what she's saying is, act like one.
Okay. I'm still not sure how to answer her question, but it helps.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The question is less important than the mindset.
I see.
I know you didn't ask for this. But you're right in that I have a job to do. And by extension, you have a
So
job to
do
do.
I.
But
Yes.
it's not the one you think.
It's not to push back the giants, slay Oro, and help the North.
Those certainly need doing.
Absolutely, but that's not the reason you're here.
She shakes her head.
Kilio kind of tilts her head a bit.
The clans are divided. Maybe not with blood, maybe not with arms, but they are divided. And if that division is not healed, what happened in Bear's Heart will happen elsewhere. We cannot stand against that threat as we are now. Because that threat will absorb some of us. And I don't think any of us are wont to draw steel against kin.
No. This is not a battle that can be won with a fight. Huh.
Torvald is Primarch, mostly because he's a coward. What we need are new speakers. It's telling that the only clan with a speaker is the Broken One.
That's Grawl, isn't it?
Grawl. Newt Whiteclaw is the Speaker of Eagle. But he's the only living speaker.
And Grawl.
She nods. You want to be Primarch, Kileo?
No. I don't think so.
Can you be Speaker of Wolf?
I was told not to doubt myself. For Kilio's mindset. So, I almost said, I don't know, but I will try, but that's not Killio. Yeah.
Because, like it or not, that's what we have to do. Either me or you.
Man. I don't know if that came through.
It did not.
I can. Maybe not.
What's
yet.
Ragov going to say to that?
Ragov can eat a snowbank for all I care.
Careful, he's not against you.
I know he's not against me, but damn. I went too far in the other direction with that. God damn it.
It's easy to see Ragov as a bad guy, but he was just a rival to Inatha. He's still Clan Roche. He's still your brother.
I would. Can I walk that back?
Yeah.
Okay. She said what again? What's Ragov gonna say to that?
Yeah, what's Ragov gonna say to that? It's very easy to see Ragov as a bad guy. I don't fault you for that. But he's not. He's not an antagonist.
I'm sure there will be lots of things to say about it. But at the end of the day, one of us has to do it. She gestures at Jara.
She nods.
I think he can say what he likes.
It would mean admitting that you're Jara.
I think a distinction can be made.
I think you're right. But while we have a moment, there's a few other things that You need guidance, Killian.
I think she kind of just like rubs the back of her head a bit.
Honestly, I haven't had a thrush in a while.
What did she say?
I haven't had a thrush in a while.
I'm not sure what that word means.
I'm a hunting apprentice.
Ah, okay. I'd be honored.
It's not entirely that you have a choice. Why did Primarch Featherkeeper give you the knife? And don't say because you beat her.
Think. As much as I would like to say as she saw potential in me, I'm sure she did. It was, from what I'm understanding, to remove it from a certain situation. The details I'm not sure on.
So I don't need to draw the behavior of the Primarchs out into the open for you.
No, they were acting strange at the moot. Ragolf and Inatha were... just...
Balgruuf looked tired.
Yeah.
Your mother... Don't look at me like that. I'm not going to speak ill of her. She keeps you from too much. Try as she might, she does not treat you like kin. You will always be the small babe found on the snowbank. I say that because it spreads like a sickness.
She treats me that way, and then so do the rest of the kin.
To a point, even if they don't mean to.
And hell, maybe it spread to me at some point. But I can stand on my own 2 feet.
I believe that. I believed it from the start. To that end, I have a question for you. As an equal. Something that we need to get to the bottom of.
I'm listening.
Why did the Stormcaller not raise the banner of the outcast? He's gone. The Kinslayer disappeared. He could have raised an army. And why, now, of all times, are the Primarchs nervous? And are these two things related?
Do I have information to connect into this? Like, in character? Or is it just a question to be found out later?
It's just a question to be found out later.
Okay. So I imagine Jara has the information I have.
Correct. She has a little bit more because she spoke to Zalkum, but...
Yes.
She's actually not alluding too much to Andre. Believe it or not, like, I know that was a direct thing about Andre, but she's going somewhere with this. She's saying, like, were the Primarchs worried that Andre was going to come and fuck up the moon? Which is ridiculous, and Helio knows it's ridiculous. Like...
That... Yeah, there's a lot of things that aren't making sense. Especially with that.
Bear's Heart hadn't happened yet. During the moot. What were they looking for? And why did Nadia feel the need to whisk a treasure out of sight? I wish you had opened your senses at the moot. It took so long with that.
Did. I wish I had done it much sooner as well, so I could be used to this by now. It's quiet when I'm like this, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Helio's very much taking comfort in that.
I'm surprised you didn't ask Speaker Whiteclaw. You had him right in front of you.
You're right, I did.
I grant you, it's difficult to speak to him. Still, what were they hunting? Or what was hunting them?
I'm making some notes, give me a moment. I don't know, but I will be doing my best to find out in the near future.
I do not speak of your ability, Helio. But how much of you carrying that knife was by design, and how much was desperation? What noose was tightening over the clans?
None of it makes sense. There's got to be something we're both missing.
And we can't find it because you put us in 2 cages.
Yeah.
Everything smells like fire down here. And if we have the moment to go up, there's that force field? Cage.
Not sure what a force field is. I've been calling it a bubble.
She didn't say force, like, she didn't say force field one word, she said a field of force.
Field of force.
Like, a force, like, she doesn't know force field one word. She was saying a field, adjective, force.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. And then she corrected it to cage because she didn't like the way it sounded.
Understandable. I like cage better than bubble.
I don't like cages at all.
Right, back to bubble then.
Either way, we can't do anything in here.
No, we can't, so we will need to get out of the cage as quickly as possible. Easier said than done, but it will be done.
Before you ask, I don't know how to kill a god. Never
I figured
had to.
if you knew, you would have told me by now.
I'm not even sure what a god is.
Helio shrugs.
I saw the owl rider, same as you. I understand there's a monster there. Hunt it. But Oral is a god. What does that mean?
Don't know. There's the wizard, the elf, said something at one point about if you can't kill it, you can just make it go back home.
Now that seems rather counterproductive.
No, it's weird.
I tell you what's weird. The thing, notwithstanding, that is a god, whatever that means, and the big, giant, floating iceberg city isn't a god. They're equally impressive.
I'd argue the floating iceberg city is much more impressive.
Why is that one a god and that one not? Because it's not alive? It's alive.
What makes that one in the sky so much more different than spring?
Well, because spring's not a god.
Well, yes, but I'd argue spring is much more impressive anyway.
So what we have managed to establish between the two of us is that gods aren't impressive. There must be something else that makes them gods. Of course, if they're not impressive, that means you could probably beat them in a drinking contest. Or a test of strength. Or a hunt.
Or hunt them.
A apparently you have to do something special. Which, I mean, you don't hunt a boar with a bow. You don't hunt a stone giant with a bow. Unless you're me. Don't do that, by the way.
I'm sure there's some squishy spot somewhere.
Unfortunately, to reveal them, you need more than whatever a wolf's teeth are made out of. Long story, we'll talk about it later. Point being, I don't have any idea how to kill a god. And, by the way, on that topic, and she points out the window for the first time, is that a god?
I don't know.
Because it's also not very impressive.
That I was going to ask. I've got no idea what that is.
Warm?
I bet the wizard knows.
Can we call it warm? It's made of fire, at least it's on fire. If you set me on fire, will something weird happen?
I don't know.
Can I be set on fire?
I don't think so. I don't exactly want to light a torch in here.
I mean, if you wake up, you won't see me, Kilio. I'm saying, is there a way to set me on fire? I don't think there is.
No, I don't think. If there's like a table nearby, can I just put my hand through it? Like,
yeah.
I think fire has to touch you, and nothing seems to be able to touch us.
Technically speaking, we can touch each other.
I mean, yes, but...
Which is weird.
Yeah, a bit.
And I can... No, what's weird is I can feel things when you touch them. And it's the only time I can feel things.
That is very weird.
Going back to the thing outside, is all we have to work with the fact that we can't set it on fire?
That and it's large. And that it fights with fire, probably. Probably.
So we drag it out into the blizzard, and we throw it in the sea of moving ice. And if that doesn't kill it, maybe we'll get a new mountain.
Eh. We were this close to needing a new mountain.
That one I blame on Kif.
Why do you blame it on Kif?
Because Oak all but told him it was important, and he took that to mean sacred and closed the damn door.
That... Question out of character. Was Kif a Skald?
Of course he's a Skald. He's a Primarch Clan Grawl.
Of course, of course, of course. And I think Gilio then sighs. Fucking Skalds.
What I don't understand, he's been here before. He's been in here.
I know! We found his room. I found his room.
You know what it was? She chuckles.
I had a few ideas.
No, I mean, do you know why he sealed it up? He was a child that was caught in the larder.
The what?
The larder, the pantry. Oak told him that this place was important. He had already desecrated it. And so he sealed it up so no one would know.
Oh.
And he almost doomed everyone.
Damn it, Kip.
I would say I need to have a talk with him, but and she kind of shrugs helplessly.
I'm sure if the orcs have a dream potion, I'm sure we can make it happen.
I can't visit anyone other than you.
That's fine. I'll visit him, and then you can come with me.
Except for that boy.
Oh?
I don't know who it was. Someone contacted me while I was out hunting.
Is it a Goliath?
Obviously.
Like, oh god, red markings, I think? I remember it faintly.
Now that you mention it. Is there a new clan?
I don't think so. What was he saying? It's hard to remember.
He spoke to me the way the humans here speak to Oral, actually. Which was weird.
That's very weird. And it was like, there was green around. It wasn't snow and ice.
Wait, you spoke to... No, I spoke to him in Valorhall, which was weird.
What? I spoke to him, like, while I was sleeping. Gar, like, Gar. Gar was there.
Yes. Gar was there. Gar is mine.
That's weird.
I do not like this sensation. The point is, a living Skald came to Valorholm, and he was shorter in the tooth than you are?
Yeah, that sounds about right,
With red
from what I
markings.
remember.
Wait, he had a brother. His brother beat me.
What do you mean his brother beat you?
I was drunk.
Ah,
And
was
he
he?
was physical. And I am ephemeral? Ethereal? What's the word?
Oh.
It helps when you have a body.
I mean, yes, but also, like, was he drunk? That feels only fair.
No, he showed up at the end of the feast for the Great Hunt.
Then he cheated.
I mean, yes. Who does the Great Hunt sober?
I know.
Who does any hunt sober?
He keeps you warm.
Speaking of which, you're out of alcohol.
I am.
You're
I
almost
was
out of
rationing
arrows.
Yeah, I need to make more.
Down
Or
here?
get more. Eh. You don't have to wait. I can make do.
Was that creature a god?
Creature. What?
The,
Oh.
the chained one.
I I do not know. I don't know what makes a god, and it certainly was weird.
Weird and unimpressive seems to be what make a god, and you killed that one, so it wasn't impressive. Speaking of killing things, Killia Wolfwalker.
Hmm?
The ogre.
Listen.
I'm honestly surprised the dwarf has shut up about it.
If it was... what's his name? What's the Goliath's name that eats a lot and is also a blood hunter?
Tor.
If Tor was there, he'd never let me live it down. You're never going to let me live it down.
Oh, I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm going to tell Tor, though.
Of course you are. Of fucking course you are.
For the record, choke up about the length of your arm and you won't miss next time.
Understood.
You're not going to cut through an ogre's hide with a dagger unless you aim for the neck. Works for giants too, by the way.
I understand. See, your guidance is helping already.
We need to figure out how to kill a god. At least one, probably. How many chambers were down there? 7? 9?
Something like that? 7, 9?
Plus the thing outside, plus the owl rider, plus... Does the dragon count the big dragon that came out of the sea? Because it looked like a god.
That I do not know.
Are we going to kill it? Let me rephrase. When are we going to kill it?
Likely the next time that we encounter it.
We need to figure out how to kill these things. Before you run out of arrows, preferably.
No.
What is your plan when you run out of arrows, precisely?
I plan not to run out of arrows.
How many do you have?
I counted them. Hang on. She counted them while she was sleeping, so she should be fine. 72?
So that's 10 shots per god. And you can't miss. Can you kill a god in 10 arrows? Can I kill a god in 10 arrows? I'm not sure.
We'll find out.
It's going to be hard for us to speak like this in the future.
It is. It's not often I'm by myself.
And quiet.
It was not quiet, it was so... I was loud.
Yes, but you can only hear me when it's quiet because you don't listen.
I have trouble with that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have trouble with that sometimes?
I don't have trouble with anything, I'm a legend. She smirks.
You had trouble beating that boy drunk.
She like holds up a finger and like curls her lips inward, just like.
Oh, that was good.
Like you had trouble killing that ogre.
That's not fair. You know all of my mistakes.
You met Eric.
You said it, not me.
I'll say it to his face. I'll make you say it to his face.
If you would have spoken to me sooner, I could have done it for you. I saw him at the base of this mountain.
You didn't listen. I was shouting at him. Do you know, the oaf thinks that I came down here to find him.
Oh.
I came down here to get away from him.
So you left first?
As I often do.
Was I told the other way around?
Time is weird. Time is weird when it comes to Valorholm and the material plane.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh. They're saying it's the other way around.
Of course they are. Because most kin follow Eric.
Jara left first, but Eric got there first because Jara got distracted hunting something.
Correct.
True, yeah.
You've met members of Clan Grawl.
Yes, I have.
Imagine you put all the members of Clan Grawl in a distillery and sniffed the alcohol that came out of it.
I would die on the spot.
That's Eric.
Remind me why you fell for him the first time?
I didn't.
Were you drunk?
He's better at politics than I am.
Ew.
I found the home, and everyone was, Jara, lead us, Jara, lead our people. I said no, and I pointed to the biggest oaf I could find, and it worked.
Oh boy.
Come now, do you really think I would be Primarch of anything? Much less everything?
Primarch of everything sounds like an exhausting job.
Jara, holds her hands out in front of her. Killia Wolfwalker, Primarch of everything. Has a ring to it.
No, it does not. You are deaf.
She holds her hands out in front of her. Killia Wolfwalker, Ogre Slayer, also has a ring to it. Too bad you can't claim that title. So, what are we going to find down below?
What'd she say? Sorry.
What are we going to find down below?
Down below is probably... hopefully...
A bunch of cages.
a bunch of cages with things of equal... weirdness to the first one. Probably weird in a different way.
You should talk to the elf.
I think I will talk to the elf. I hope Dawn's okay.
I know a cage when I see one.
I apparently didn't.
No, I mean, once you were in it. That was an arena that doubles as a cage. When you were removed, stars above. can only imagine what... What did you call him?
His name is Breaking Dawn.
I can only imagine what Breaking Dawn is dealing with.
Hmm. I don't know what he did to get me out, but... I owe him one, at least.
I don't know what you call it, but it looks like he cast a spell. I know it is Journey Home.
I don't know if Kilio... Like, that's a higher level spell. I don't think Kilio knows that one by any other name than what Jara might say it as.
It takes a creature that you've captured and sends it back where it's supposed to be.
I see. So it sent me...
I would argue that you're not supposed to be at the area, but
No, but...
I've never been on the receiving end of it. But it looked like Journey Home.
I'll ask the elf. There's a lot of things I need to ask this elf, apparently.
Isn't that always the case? How blessed we are that elves love the sound of their own voices.
How true. Yeah. This one's not terrible. A pain, but not terrible.
Speaking of which, are you going to blame the fact that you're still getting used to the senses, that you didn't see the elves coming? She, like, points upwards.
I don't know if I can blame my senses for that, but I didn't see them coming, no.
You know what to look for next time? There was a tell.
Was?
She nods.
I'm trying to think back. What was it? Can I make some kind of save?
Yeah, it's a wisdom save. You can also make an insight check if you think it's higher.
They're the same roll for me.
Okay. Okay. So Jara says, the elf reacted before you did, which is true. There was a tell, Irithy reacted, and then we rolled initiative. And it was the snow began to blow in a circle.
Oh. The snow began to spiral.
She nods. Look for shadows in the moon, if you have a moon.
We only had a moon for like a short span of time. That was also weird. I don't know if those were gods either.
We need to figure out what a god is before we can start answering these questions. So far, we have fireproof and unimpressive.
I don't know if fireproof is something we can go off of. That the frosty bitch is made of ice.
Ice is fireproof.
Not forever.
It is in the cold. That's actually true. If you build a fire in an igloo, the fire will go out before the igloo melts.
Well, yeah. That is true.
You built a fire in an ice cave in a previous episode.
Yeah, that is true.
I've actually seen the math worked out on this. Ice beats fire in an icy environment, like, literally 300 to 500 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just most humans live in temperate environments.
I gotcha. the average consensus is that. Yeah.
Yep.
Fireproof, unimpressive. What happens if we meet gods that aren't in the snow?
Tie them to a stake and see if they melt. Are gods like ice sculptures?
Eh? Laurel's a pretty early ice sculpture.
Something you want to tell me?
I'm not sure what she's alluding to.
I heard Arl's a pretty ice sculpture.
No, I said a pretty ugly ice sculpture.
Ah, my mistake. Which is funny because she's actually not.
Yeah.
Her domain is beauty. Like, let me see if I can find what you saw on the back of the owl, because she like I wouldn't call her hot, but she's not ugly.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a depiction of Oral yet.
Hold on, let me see. The problem is she has multiple forms, so I need to make very sure that I get the right one. I'm looking. Give him a second. Here we go. Boop-a-doo. Wait, really? That's her first form? I thought that was her second form. Hold on. There's no... Really? Huh. Hold on. Let me see if there's a handout before I... Because if there's not a handout, I'm not doing it this way, because this is not what I expected it to be. Does she not have a handout? Huh. Alright, well, I'm not, okay, so...
It's her depiction originally.
Okay, no, that's fair. This is what they're using for her first form, which...
Oh, the owl?
I thought was her second form. Like, it's cool, but... No. So, like, you will probably see Owl Bitch Arl at some point, but what you saw, like, in the sky, was, like... I imagined, like, Lady Dimitrescu in Cruella de Vil's coat.
She's a pretty lady in previous editions, is probably what you're thinking of.
Well, that's what I'm going with.
This
like
is what I just, like, did a quick Google image search. This is, something I found. I don't know if this is accurate or not.
So, I'll make reference to what you posted backstage. No, because that's a little bit too, what is her name? What is her name? Maleficent. That's a little too Maleficent. What I thought of for her, you know, her base form, her not I'm gonna rip your head off form, was just like big tall lady, blonde, kind of like, okay, you've seen How to Train Your Dragon, right?
Yes.
The girl from How to Train Your Dragon, Astrid,
Yes.
age 35.
Okay.
Maybe even age 40.
Not bad.
With like her hair done in that same braid, and then she's wearing that big, like, from the shoulders to the ankles giant fur coat that wraps around you. Like, I hate to stereotype this, but you see it a lot in, like, not Russia in fantasy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, she was on that, standing on the back of the owl. You couldn't see her arm. You could only see her head and the fur coat as she, like, flew through the sky. But she was standing on the owl. The Tsarina, yes, that, yeah. Basically, yes! Isn't there a Pokemon called Tsarina?
Yeah, yes,
And
there is.
doesn't Tsarina kind of look like she has that coat on?
I'm pulling up the Pokemon. It's a little weird. This is the Pokemon.
Okay, then no. The moth, then.
A moth. Frost moth?
I guess? I don't know. But she looks like she's wearing the big coat, which is her wings, right? Am I crazy?
Here is...
Gamzee linked a really good picture minus the outfit backstage. I just can't show it on screen, which is unfortunate. But yeah, you guys know the code I'm talking about, so like it's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, was that not Gamzee? Hold on, credit where it's due. That was Cookie. It was Cookie that linked it. The last picture Cookie linked.
Okay.
But in the outfit that I mentioned.
Okay.
That's what you saw. Warhammer Fantasy is the arena? What? I don't know what that means. Well, that's her base form now, people backstage, so.
Okay. But yeah, a bit of like... pretty shit eye sculpture.
I mean, yeah. Mostly because she had, you know, like...
yeah.
She doesn't have blue skin, or she didn't when you saw her. The Tsarina is not Russia's queen in Warhammer Fantasy. She's got frost magic out the wazoo, that's why I brought her up. Do you mean Kislev? The only thing I know about Kislev is Kislev.
I accidentally closed the window, but yes, I am talking about Kislev.
I don't know why, but the only thing I know about Kislev is that the Kislev NPCs have a habit of just saying Kislev. It's like aloha. You can use it as hello, goodbye, and thank you. Yeah, I know you can't use aloha as thank you, but you can use Kislev as it. I don't know what their deal is. I just know that Kislev is Kislev.
The deal is Kislev.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, so getting back to the scene, Jara says, "Is there anything else you want to say to me while we have the chance?" Believe it or not, I can't read your mind. Well, I can read your mind, I can't read your... You can think at me and I will hear it. I can't do it now. Does that make sense?
So what you're saying is my head is privated right now. In a way.
I mean to say that we're separate, and if you want to keep it that way, then there's not really much I can do about it.
I don't think entirely separate is the answer, but thank you for making sure I didn't die in the snow.
She chuckles. There wasn't anything I could do to prevent that. I didn't keep you from dying in the snow.
I mean,
I saw what you would be. I still see it.
What do you mean?
I mean that Thola is right. I mean that you're my best hope from doing what I need to do.
Well, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have this chance. I'll make sure the job is done and we're both remembered. I don't exactly need to help you much with that. As long as the Goliaths are here, I think you'll always be remembered, but you get my point.
You have to get down to the others first. Unimpressive or not, I feel like he could step on you.
Yeah. I'm
By the
about
way,
halfway.
she holds up a finger. I'm sorry. I just have to ask.
Okay.
Where exactly are we?
I am not entirely sure. I know we're under the mountain.
Are we?
Oh. I
Because
maybe?
this does not feel like under the mountain.
Scratch his head. More questions for the wizard.
I really hope we're under the mountain, but I don't think we are. Can you not
Don't.
listen to the land? I thought you could. So, what she's asking is, do you have primeval awareness?
I do. Does it tell me? Like the
It
plane?
does not explicitly tell you that you're on the plane of fire. No. But if you use it and it's starkly different from what it should be, then you could assume you're somewhere else.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to use it.
You are asleep.
No. Fuck. I'm gonna use it when I wake up then, because that would also help me navigate the city, because favorite enemy type giant.
Yeah?
You mean she hasn't been verbally talking to herself for the last hour?
No.
I can, I don't know, yeah.
Excuse me.
Forget to sometimes.
You forget a lot of things. You're never alone, Killia Wolfwalker.
And she nods.
So long as there are, well, kin in the mountains, then you're never truly alone.
You're right.
All you have to do is listen.
All I have to do is listen. Thank you, Shara. I appreciate it.
She shakes her head. It's no more than anyone would do. No more than anyone should do. I brought these people here because this is home. And this isn't home, this is someone's home, and it looked like they... I hope they got out. You know what I mean.
I don't know, I haven't seen any... Like, they're made of... It's weird, they're made of stone, whoever lived here? I still don't understand that. But I didn't see any...
If they're made of
bodies.
stone, then what beneath the stars was that thing in the first room? Was that a god?
What was he made out of?
Gold.
I
Like, he had, like, gold Iron Man plating all over him.
am unsure. It was weird, but
He wasn't particularly impressive either.
no.
This city is impressive. Is it a god?
I don't... I don't think so. Weird and unimpressive. Yep, that's about all we have to go on.
And fireproof.
And fireproof. The city's fireproof.
The outside is fireproof, the inside not so much. Well, she's, like, looking around.
Yeah, This looked like a... Like where someone would live.
I assume that's why you chose it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make a habit of stating the obvious.
Fair enough.
Eric has said precisely one thing useful in his entire life.
Oh?
It is better to be silent and let them think you don't know something than to speak and confirm it.
And he chooses to speak a lot, doesn't he?
Let's just say I appreciate the quiet. And whoever started those rumors, as if I don't know, that Eric and I were involved, do me a favor and smear honey on the sleeping bag.
I will if I get the chance. Did she say she didn't know who it was?
She said, as if I don't know.
Do I know?
I mean, you can make an insight check with advantage.
Okay. My guess is it was Eric.
Yeah, of course it was fucking Eric. Of course it was. He was like oh, like he went down to the watering hole and he started telling fucking everybody that he laid the Messiah. Of course he did. Like,
Of course he did. If I end up in Valor Home alongside of you, keep him busy and I'll make sure I get him back for you.
Stars, I hadn't even considered the possibility of there being two of me. That could be useful. That could be very useful. One of us steals the key, the other one unlocks the stables. This could be very useful.
There's a lot we could do with that.
Right, so I should warn you about Sigrid. And, like, mist starts to roll in and we fade out on that scene.
Okay.
And yeah, and we'll go, like, players, do you want to jump in? Sibs, I just saw what you put backstage. How dare you? Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Do not say that word.
Don't
But
say
holy
it. This is
shit.
code red situation.
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh.
So players, do we want to have an episode or we want to end it there?
Personally, I'm realizing I have a lot more to do than I initially thought, so I'm afraid to say that I don't think I have it in me for a proper episode.
I think it sounds like we have a lot of questions for the elf.
It does.
That is true, but unfortunately the elf is not here.
Yeah.
I mean, the elf is here. The elf
I mean,
can
the
answer
elf
those
is
questions.
here.
But the player of the elf is not here. Of course, in fairness, the player of the elf would just be like, "Hey, GM, what's the answer to this question?" It's like, we can cut out the middleman if we want to.
I mean, we can.
But at the same time, the elf can answer the questions, but the elf can't answer the questions.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no strong choice one way or the other.
Pershmila, looks like you're the deciding vote.
Heck. I hate being the deciding vote.
You hate being any vote.
I don't think I get to be the deciding vote here.
Honestly, I'd rather wait.
Okay.
Ow, 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 ow.
What did you do?
What did you
What
do?
did you do?
I managed to crush my thumb between the chair and my desk because I was spinning it.
Good job.
Good
Well,
job, Valerian. So, does anybody have any questions for Jara and Kilio before we wrap up?
No.
What is 2 plus 2?
Math.
Nah.
Numbers.
I don't know, ask the elf.
Wizard shit.
Yeah, right?
Math is absolutely wizard shit.
Wizards and artificers.
So, no questions for them?
Nope.
But, yeah, I mean, that we could ask questions, I suppose. Gamzee's typing.
Oh no, Gamzee's typing.
Uh-oh.
Gamzee,
What
for
is the Gamzee
those of you who
typing?
don't know, during the recording of this, Gamzee's at work, and so he can't speak.
Gamzee says, I have time for a collect call, lol. Kidding, mostly.
I mean, that's what the misrolling in was. I was gonna do it during Tails, but if you want to do it now, that's fine.
I think Gamzee actually has time for a collect call. I think he's on break. Which means break ends.
I mean, we could do that.
Do you actually have time for a collect call, Gams?
Like, I was planning to do it during Tails, because that is a Salcom thing versus a Kilio thing.
It was 90% joke. I think
Okay.
we're done. We're done.
It sounds like we're wrapping up, so
Yeah.
we are wrapping up, which means it was an extra, which means Kilio, you get to do a shout out, homie.
Hooray! Hello, I'm Valerian the Kitsune. I do admin stuff and things around here. I do art sometimes. I have not actually done any art in a while. If I do art, I'll post it in the gallery for anyone who wants to see it. Tonight I played Kilio Wolfwalker of Clan Roche. Talked with myself for a little while. If you liked what I did here, make sure you catch the Sunday show, Tales of the Nightlights, where I play Percival, Valerian Averill. That's still funny to me.
You are okay. What's funny is you are the third person that I've helped find their true name through tabletop stories.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, I will ask about the other two later.
Thank you very much to the Dog Pound for being with us tonight. We had some players down, we had some players not feeling well, and I wanted to do some Kilio stuff. Who was available, so we managed to do that, and now we're wrapping it up. But, for my part, as ever, I am the Sharp-Eyed Kitsune, the tether of tales and the weaver of mysteries, the masked bard. This is a community that is ever devoted to lore and storytelling, world-building, role-playing, and discussions of those things. So if that's to your fancy, you're in excellent company here, and I do hope that you enjoy your time with us. This has been Decisive Action Voices of the Mountain Extra, our weekly D&D 5-Point Fox module mutation, combining Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, and Storm King's Thunder with my own spin on both of those things. The players are currently in a super dungeon of my own devising, and eventually they're going to get out of it and get back to the... Well, I say get back to the plot, but they'll get out of it. Getting back to the plot is a bit more nebulous. But I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. And for now, as ever, it's time to close the book on today and leave you with these parting words. From myself, my keepers, and those joining me on the stage this evening, to each and every one of you, the regulars, the followers, the newcomers, and the lurkers, whether you're just having a seat by the fire or you've got a running tab at the bar, remember, there's always more stories to tell. And hopefully, I'll see you all next time as we heed the voices of the mountain with a new chapter. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hope to see you again very soon.